you some love.
Hello and welcome to VHS Revue, and before we begin, I'd like to announce the winner of our Unsolicited VHS Revue theme song a cappella challenge. And despite waiting 6 years for any additional entries, the winner by default is Steve Murray, who accosted me in January 2016 with this rendition. Yes, well done. As for today's tape, it's a Channel 9 Adelaide recording of the 1988 documentary film Imagine John Lennon, which, as one would imagine, examines the life of John Lennon. I taped this one myself on the last day of 2001. This was just a couple of months after George Harrison died, and the subsequent abundance of Beatles-related programming helped spark my interest in the Fab Four. Obviously can't show you any of the music from the film, or else I get another bloody copyright strike, but the bit that always stuck in my mind was this bizarre exchange between Lennon and some drifter who just showed up at his house.
One of our assistants told us that there was this strange guy that was just staying in our gardens almost every night. John always felt responsible for these people because they were the result of his songs. That's how he felt.
Don't confuse the songs with your own life. I mean, they might have relevance to your own life, but a lot of things do. So we met, I'm just a guy, man, who writes songs.
You weren't thinking of anyone in particular when you were singing all that?
How could I be? How could I be thinking of you, man?
Well, I don't know, maybe I don't care me, but it's all somebody.
I'm thinking about me, or at best Yoko, if it's a love song. I'm saying, I had a good shit today, and this is what I thought this morning, and, or I love you, Yoko, or whatever. I'm singing about me and my life, and if it's relevant for other people's lives, that's all right. Are you hungry? Yeah. Let's give him something to drink.
And then he sits down at his kitchen table and has a meal with the guy.
Wow, what a nice fella.
But as we always do here at VHS Revue, let's see what else is on this tape. Come with me on a trip down Nostalgia Boulevard. The first thing I noticed about this tape is the abundance of community service announcements. No less than 14 in a 3-hour period, which is way above average. And for such diverse causes as mental health, the RSPCA, AIDS, the Christian Children's Fund, Children's Mission Partners, Playgroup SA, Down Syndrome Calendars, the Australian Women's Health Diary, Teletext, the Here for Life Christmas Appeal, and suicide prevention through bicycle riding. My only explanation is that it was December 31, so maybe Nine was trying to cram as many in as possible to fulfill their broadcast license obligations before the end of the year. But if I had to pick just 3 to show you in full, I'd start with this one for the Humane Society that features a somewhat familiar tune.
We are prisoners of human destruction, feeling helpless with no real protection. Won't someone please care? Get up, make a stand. If you dare, show you care. Set us free. We don't wanna be in chains. Set us free. Set us free. Take away all this pain. Don't be cruel to creatures that God has made. Set us free.
That's it. Next, Laurie Lawrence teaches kids to swim with nothing but tough love and a jingle that never really took off.
Listen to me, little mate, because too many Aussie kids drown each year.
Fence the pool, shut the gate, teach the kids to swim. It's great. Supervise, watch your mate, and learn how to resuscitate.
Kids alive, do the 5.
Okay, well that's all great. I agree with Laurie. He's a great Australian, and his heart's in the right place. Good stuff. If I had just one critique, though, kids alive do the 5, it's a little redundant. I reckon we can cut those 5 down to 3. So, number 1.
Fence the pool.
You actually have to do that now. That's the law in every Australian state. If you have a pool, it has to have a fence around it. And there are rules about, how much clearance it has to have, etc. So, we don't need a jingle for that. In the same way, we don't need a jingle to remind us not to murder people. It's the law. And the law is enforced by the police and the courts. So, 1, it's gone. Don't need it. Second point.
Shut the gate.
Well, again, the legislation requires a gate that's self-closing from any position and self-latching. So, it happens automatically. Don't need a reminder.
Teach your kids to swim. It's great.
That's fine.
Supervise what you make.
That's good, although it kind of sounds like 2 things. I think just have 1, and if I had to pick, I'd go with supervise, because it's more broad. It applies to situations where you're swimming with someone who isn't your mate, and you're not particularly invested in their welfare. I don't think it's really a good message to send that you're only supposed to look out for your friends and anyone else can just drown. That's the canal de cronyism. I mean, what sort of society do we want to be? And lastly...
and learn how to resuscitate.
That's a good one. Keep that. So in summary, the new version goes...
Teach your kids to swim. It's great. Supervise and learn how to resuscitate.
Swim carefree, do the 3. Just a suggestion. But the creme de la creme of community service announcements is this one that's so bad, it's fantastic.
Good morning, your
Hi,
sons.
Mum.
Are you listening?
Remember the days when you could pick up a funeral plan from the cat food aisle of your local supermarket?
Few people realise that every funeral firm buys its funeral components from the same suppliers, and we all pay the same price. Coffins, press notices, flowers, cremation fees. And then the 2 biggest items, overheads and profits. When I look at my shopping docket, it always reads the same, $2,400. I can't believe anyone would want to contribute more to an undertaker's overheads and profits. They contribute nothing to dignity or sincerity. I'm Keith Russell, Sensible Funerals.
Alternatively, if you want to go out with a bang, call Ridiculous Funerals. Their prices are absurd. Care for some early 2000s tech?
Panasonic's famous big screens are now available on our mobile phones. Panasonic.
Quaint. And that brings us to... yes, what the hell was that? The self-explanatory segment. And tonight's loser is this restaurant ad, where everything's just a little bit shit.
Spaghetti marinara, spaghetti alla pana, 1 steak Diana, 2 garlic bread, family Mexicana, small Americana, entre lasagna, 1 garlic prawns. Ring us now on 822-31700. Ring us now on 822-31700. Ring us now for delivery. San Giorgio Pizzeria.
San Giorgio. It's an Adelaide institution, like Glenside. But as for the winner, the theme of the day seems to be weird repeating audio. What the hell was that? That's it for this VHS review. Thanks for watching. I'll leave you with a commercial that knows exactly what people want from an airport motel. See you later.
Conference Centre. Phone 8234 4000.
Hit the stick,
And David M. Green, don't even think about it.
Good morning, your
Hi,
sons.
Mum.
Are you listening?
Remember the days when you could pick up a funeral plan from the cat food aisle of your local supermarket?